Probably just, they look like they were ready to go soon. Ah, they are ready to go. So let's rock and roll, and we're going to go into game number 1 between DerXello and Ingik.
I will fight with honor.
And it's Death Rattle Rogue versus Death Rattle Paladin. Death Rattle Rogue was a popular deck shortly after the Old Gods release due to Dog kind of pioneering one of the first major Death Rattle Rogues. But it's kind of fallen off since Miracle's picked back up. Not a brilliant hand for DerXello here. Might want to just cycle the Drake and the Summoner. Even the Raptor. The Raptor needs to find something a little bit later. Looking pretty good for Ingik. He gets that True Silver Champion quite early with the coin, so he can start clearing up some minions if he needs to. Doomsayer, as we've seen in many other tournaments, at turn 2 play is usually pretty powerful. Resets the board. And he gets access to that Acidic Swampu, so can deal with a deadly poisoned weapon if he needs to.
Well met.
Double Doomsayer from Ingik so he can keep the board at bay. Undercity Huckster? Yeah, Undercity Huckster is a very powerful card. Has a lot of flexibility, a lot of things you can get off that can really destroy your opponent. I haven't had much use of it really, but I'd like to give it a go in the future.
Reporting for duty.
So no Doomsayer this turn. He's going to play it slow. And now Unearth Raptor actually gets a really good Death Rattle effect by leaving up that Husker. So might see Doomsayer come down this turn. Or maybe coin into True Silver. See that True Heart as well in the hand. And we saw how valuable that was getting a control mirror. And may not have the same impact against a Death Rattle Rogue.
My shield for Argon.
But Doomsayer gets dealt with an Argus. I'm pretty happy to see this deck being played right now. No, it's nice to see a lot of varieties. We've seen 2 different types of rogues. I was just expecting Miracle to be kind of the go-to rogue. But DerXello's surprising us.
Let me think.
Bit of a tough turn here for Ingik. Goes to the Humility to slow down that Raptor, coin into the True Silver, and deal with a 3-2. Let's see what this Huckster cooks up for DerXello. What's cooking? Good looking. And we have a Blessed Champion. Ooh, that's very deadly if you don't expect it. I mean, if Blessed Champion was in the metagame for whatever reason, people would play around it, but it's not something you play around, so that's just given DerXello a lot more reach than he had beforehand. Shadowcaster is one of the cooler cards Rogue got as well. Like getting the 1/1 copies of Kane to make a 4/5, extra toxins, and even extra cards from Huckster. So again, kind of in a very similar situation. Can't clear the Raptor alone with that True Silver Champion. Might go for just maybe a Doomsayer and Hero Power just to kind of negate some damage. Get more investment into the board. No, Ingik just wants to clear this right now. Too much threat. And a Seal of Champions, so just like tremendous amounts of burst finding its way to DerXello's hand through these Huckster Death Rattle effects. So the second problem comes down. Kane could go for the Doomsayer now.
Let me think.
Oh, it's tough. It's really tough. He's in a very tough spot. Doomsayer into hero power is the only thing that kind of shows up for me. Could go for Justica now. Justica challenges the first part of Kane.
Reporting for duty.
But that's +3 attack on Seal of Champions. Won't be able to copy it with Shadowcaster this turn. But can clear that Doomsayer, put the Divine Shield on as well, making this minion a lot more stressful to deal with. Goes to the clear on the 1/1, I like that a lot. Don't let it be opened up to True Silver Champion or anything else. That Divine Shield is a bit of a problem right now. So if Justica comes down this turn, Fan of Knives into SI deals with it, and the 7/5 remains. Getting rid of the weapon isn't that costly for DerXello right now. But Fan of Knives, SI dagger up will protect his Kane and clear the board and cycle a card for him. Unless he just wants to go for, say, a Shadowcaster, copy Kane, and then just SI the 3/2. But that leaves the 1/1 open for the Kane.
So many options.
So many wonderful poisons.
Give a friendly minion stealth next turn. Ouch. That's really tough.
This guy's toast.
So the Toxin worked out really well. I can just stealth it now. I think I would have preferred Fan of Knives, SI dagger, but this worked out really well overall. So Tyrion can come down as kind of some protection, but then Sap is something to consider. Light Lord gives you instant instant heal rather than waiting for a Sap on Tyrion, so it might be the best way to preserve your health. But then you've got to consider how much burst damage can this rogue really do. I mean, it's a Death Rattle rogue, it isn't a Miracle rogue, but with Blessed Champion in hand, this rogue has a lot of reach. So True Silver can clear up the SI. Might see Tyrion, but Light Lord is a lot safer. Oh, and there's the Sap. So if that was Tyrion, that would have been... Yeah, I think that would have been over. Healed for 8 was at 16. So yeah, that would have been over, but it looks like finally this Divine Shield is taken out. But Kane's baby brother is here, and not Bane, his baby clone. The 1/1 variation comes down, and this board is incredibly durable. And Tyrion might just come down as a last-ditch effort to stay alive in this game, but with that Blessed Champion in hand, DerXello will be able to take this game, and this... It's not looking like much else can happen. No, that is gonna be it, I think. So doubles the attack, taking up to 14.
Well played.
Combined with SI7 and a dagger hit as well, will be enough to close this game. DerXello takes a 1-0 lead with Death Rattle Rogue. Only time I've seen it on the GosuCup so far, and it takes a win, so it has a 100% win rate as far as extreme games on GosuCup goes. So yeah, that was a pretty convincing win from the Death Rattle Rogue. That Kane was just a nightmare, and especially with the cards that came from Huckster, changed a lot. I mean, they could have been different cards. It is a random effect, but they lined up perfectly with the game plan of DerXello, and he was able to take a very convincing win. So Control Paladin has stuck around for Ingik. He didn't choose to change that from his lineup going into this round. So that could be a potential problem for him if he's kept all the same decks, because DerXello has a lot of information on these decks. But that's considering if Ingik even knows that this is being streamed, or if he's watching the stream himself. So there's a lot of benefit from watching people play in these open cups when they're streamed, get necessary information. But if you know you're going against someone who's been watching, you should probably just change your lineup and not risk them running any counters into you. So yes, for those of you just joining us, this is the GosuCup HCT number 6. 7 HCT points are on the line for the spring season. 3 points for the winner, 2 points for second place, and 1 point each for third and fourth. So there will be no third and fourth match played. We'll probably, let me just have a quick look at the bracket, see where we are. So we'll probably go...
versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
So we'll probably go from this game into the round 5 match, and then one of the semi-finals, potentially 2, looking how spread out they are, and then into the grand final. So between 3 and 4 matches left of this tournament that will be streamed. So our first shaman of the tournament, Mana Tide, is in the deck, so this may be the Bloodlust variation that Loylan made very popular. There's also a variation I've been playing, which is the is it J Billy B from DreamHack Austin, who used the Earth Elementals, and that's a pretty good list as well. So we'll have to see what else he's got packing. Early Feral Spirits help lock down this, and Primal Fusion as well. So yeah, this is probably the Bloodlust variation if you're going to be running Primal Fusion.
Reporting for duty.
And an early lead taken from DerXello on board. True Sylvan can come down, he's got 2 of them in hand. Start clearing up these Feral Spirits. Flame Tongue Totem will make life a little harder, but might just go for Mana Tide this turn while it's protected by a Feral Spirit. Nope, gonna go for Flame Tongue and push for some damage. This is a lot more mana efficient, and he's going to keep 2 totems on board, so that does line up a nice Primal Fusion on the Argent Squire next turn. So this Pyromancer, no equality just yet. It says it's amazing how dependent Paladins can be on that combo sometimes. Alright, so the silence is being used on the first Flame Tongue Totem. But as we know, there is a second waiting. But now you can even just buff up the Flame Tongue Totem, the silence one, with Primal Fusion, and use the 1/1 to clear out the Spellbreaker. Or, nope, just going to go for Mana Tide. So it is Totem Terror right now, coming from DerXello. And there's Bloodlust. Oh, Pyro Consecration's going to be able to clear this board. So finally finds a board clear available to him. Otherwise things would have been very dangerous next turn. Not sure what he's considering. Maybe just going for the second True Silver. Making a guy. But does that, how much does that play into Bloodlust? So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he'll do 12 damage with Primal Fusion. So he will be out of range, so this is kind of the more patient right. Holding on to that Pyro or Consecration, ready for that equality when he gets picked up. So Totem, Primal Fusion's gonna make it an awesome buff. There's 5 totems in play, so that's plus a +5/+5. If he uses it on the silenced Flame Tongue totem, he gets a 5/8 out of it, plus the thing from below. I guess one thing to consider though is how much you're willing to invest into this board.
I wonder.
Knowing that Equality Pyro, Equality Consecrate could just be around the corner. And the investment is being made.
There is little time.
Another Primal Fusion. Well, there's no equality, but there is the Pyromancer. Pyromancer Consecration will clear everything but the Totem Golem and the thing from below. But if you use Humility in combination with that as well, on the thing from below, you'll clear the Totem Golem on top of that, and you'll be able to use a Trill Silver Champion without taking too much damage. And that's a full board clear for all your mana. I don't know if there's anything else that's better than that.
Let me think. I must move quickly.
I don't see anything else.
Do you like to play with fire?
Oh, okay, so he doesn't have to use the Crucible this way. I see. Yep, that worked out better than what I was saying. Full board clear for both sides, but DerXello's the one who lost out the most. And another thing from below off the top. Still a lot of damage potential in the hand of DerXello. He just needs to get the board back. Tyrion just looks really good. It demands a Hex,
Put your faith in the light.
which DerXello doesn't have currently. Oh, he does have one. What am I talking about? Sorry. Looking somewhere else. So Hex is going to deal with this. You can taunt up with the taunt totem. Going to get Primal Fusion if he wants it. Give it to the healing totem. It can't be targeted by the Crucible of the Champion. There's equality. Ouch. So the full board clear options are not there. Stampeding Kodo could potentially take out the 2/4. But he still doesn't quite have everything he needs. Gonna clear out the 0/2 first, so the Stampeding Kodo gets the correct target. Can even drop the Twilight Summoner as well. Start getting some of this board back.
This document looks legally binding.
So Valiant comes to the hand. Gonna be able to power up one totem. I like clearing out the Stampeding Kodo here. As much as you'd want to push for damage, equality is one thing that's gonna ruin your day. The Taunt Totem does make things a little better though. If you clear the Kodo,
I wonder.
the equality doesn't punch through enough taunts, and your Valiant is probably going to stay alive. Decide to push for damage instead, so equality still isn't enough because of that taunt totem. Still kind of an awkward spot. So the free one, if he goes out, which is what it'll be after, will stick around. Forbidden healing now, maybe? how much damage can he realistically do? That's what you've got to consider. Bloodlust Rockbite is 9. So double Rockbiter Bloodlust will be enough. One Totem of Primal Fusion won't be enough.
I must move quickly. Reporting for
Gonna develop a 1/1. I don't mind this. And get that healing down. You might not find another opportunity to use that. Tusco Totemic's not a bad pickup. Because you get to buff that totem now. Which ends up being mana tied, so drawing more cards. Let's have a look at the decks. 14, 17. So the Shaman has outdrawn the Paladin so far. Quality number 2, but no real activator. Doomsay is not enough either. It's just going to get cleared out by the totems. And you can't really use the Acidic Swamp Ooze simply because you want to hit that Doomhammer. It will just do too much damage. But goes to the Doomsay anyway. Just try and soak up some damage. Is there a Bloodlust lethal here? 6. 11, 17, with an additional totem. I think that's lethal. Between Bloodlust, additional totem, and a Rockbiter. Is there enough for that? No. That's 7. He's overloaded for 2. So we've got 12 on this side, 15. No, it's not enough. If you had a little bit more mana, it would have been fine. It's very close to finishing the game. If a Pyro comes off the top now, or a Consecration, might give... Oh, I spoke too soon. Yeah, so if either of those cards I just mentioned come off the top, it will give Ingik a fighting chance. That is
reporting for duty.
Brutal.
It's getting hot in here.
Ah, the giant flame juggler. Oh, it's fine. Right, so Kodo's picked up, can deal with... Trog would be the best. Oh, if he hit that spell power totem, it would have been tough. But probably still no lethal available just yet. Master of Evolution. How could this be used? Is it lethal? 6. 9 off him. So you get 6, 11, 14 from Bloodlust, plus 3 on top of that, 17. The Primal Fusion will take you up to 21. And the Rockbiter will finish things off. Or am I just miscounting that?
Little time.
And Falnos, so even more damage.
Let the pain speak to me. Reporting for duty.
And that is going to be enough regardless. Rockbiter and Bloodlust is going to take another game for DerXello. And he takes a 2-0 lead over Ingik, whose Control Paladin has not been performing in this game. All that damage. So 2-0 lead so far for DerXello. Ingik was in a very similar situation last game, but MLX, oh my memory's terrible right now. just MXL, sorry, has managed to fight back, but not win the overall series. So DerXello's now on match point and go through to round 5, getting him closer to those HCT points, sorry. And you need to get into semi-finals to get 1. And I don't know, 1's not a huge amount, but if you hit high legend at least once or twice and get these extra little bits of points throughout the week, it could give you enough to get in the preliminaries. It's very competitive right now. People working really hard to get high amounts of HCT points to make sure they qualify for not only prelims but for the last call tournament as well. So DerXello's down to his last deck. I'm not sure what else Ingik has brought. He might have just stuck with the lineup he had, but we'll have to see. Let's see how the bracket's doing while we wait. So Sema Cosmos falls to Omeno 666, who I've heard is a very good player. Random still playing at the moment. Racket has a 2-0 lead over Martin Creek, and Dam 420 has taken a 3-0 win over Ronaldo. Oh, these names. Ronaldolo. So the winner of this match will go on to face Navo, or Nivo. I would say Nivo. Johnny19 is currently in round 5 as well, and his opponent is potentially Saloko or Noblord. They're currently 1-1. So Martin Creek needs to make a 3-2 comeback to get into round 5. So for the next game, I'm going to try and get Omeno on the stream and see how he plays, because you guys have spoken very highly of him already.
Gul'dan versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
Your soul shall be mine.
So this is a second Kafun lock. So that's 5 Kafun locks we've had so far. And Ingik has now switched over to Priest. Now Priest was the deck that let MXL down, but he's actually switched to it. So maybe he feels he can find the win he needs with it. But this matchup ended up pretty poorly for MXL when he played against a Reno Jackson lot. But the difference was the Reno Jackson lot that was used by Ingik, sorry, I'm getting all these names mixed up, was the combo variation, whereas this one is a very strange looking Kafun variation. So I'll have to see how this game does.
Welcome to the exhibit.
So one thing I've learned about Chillmore, if you don't have a dragon in your hand when he dies, the death rattle never activates, so you don't get the resurrection from the Zoth. So that's something to consider when taking Chillmore as the priest. His death rattle is only active if you control the dragon, and I learned that the hard way.
Get in there and fight, maggot. Why do you fall?
This is looking like a very mid-range. This might just be Kafun lock. This might not actually be a Reno variation.
Welcome to the exhibit.
I don't recall seeing Reno in the opening hand. So Abomination, the Sentinel, or the Loot Hoarder goes for the Abomination. Help slow down this deck. 2 Dark Hand Dwellers. Alright, this isn't Reno. This is mid Kafun lock, I'm gonna call it for now.
My shield for Argus.
And the pressure is being put on here. Orkanai, Soul Priest plus Circle Healer might come down just to slow down the bleeding that's been done to this priest. He may use Evil next turn, but that's a lot of damage on board. Oh, nothing to play apart from the Voidwalker, but the Voidwalker might just be enough to deal with this Orkanai without, unless Ingik uses another resource, like the Shadow with Pain. If he invests the Shadow with Pain, it's to protect his Orkanai. And he hasn't really got anything else to do this turn.
I must consider.
Could just clear the 1-3 heal pass. Very passive. Oh, yep, that looks like it's going to be the play. Oh, goes to the Abomination. Sneak in there behind all those cards. But Kane's going to be able to challenge that pretty nicely. He is going to break open to his brother, but he gets rid of the Abomination at least. So Abomination could go into Kane, pop him open, get the second Vert form out, and then he could play Justica. And that challenges the second piece of Kane quite nicely.
I must consider.
But if he wants to develop another minion this turn, I wouldn't allow my opponent to decide when my Abomination gets popped. Yeah, there we go. So this does clear out the 4/5 alone. Well, those Twin Emperors are not active just yet. See, not even Argus is enough now to protect them. Possessed Villager into Argus. But the only problem with that is if you do it that way, if you, let's see what side is he going to do. If he does in the middle, the Justica's just going to run into the Possessed Villager. Yeah, so just push for damage. I like that. He was considering the Argus, but the problem is if you Argused up the Possessed Villager and not clear the Justica, Justica's just going to clear out the first part of the Possessed Villager. So what's the play from the priest side? He does have a 6/6 taunt available to him. He could clear out Bane, and then there's only 5 damage on board. So the Warlock's going to demand an extra bit of push to clear out Shilmore. I think that's what he's going for. Yeah. So because there's no Dragon in hand, Death Rattle will not be active. So when the Zoth does come down, you won't resurrect Chilmore. And that's what happened to me. Whether that was a bug, I don't know. I don't think it is. Because I remember playing this off, I was just like, right, Chilmore's going to protect me. Where's my Chilmore? And he just wasn't there. I was just thinking then, he was hovering over Defender of Argus. I prefer Ink Gambos's Possessed Villager. It's just a much more durable board, and then you can use Defender of Argus to help clear, help push damage in the next few turns. See, nothing feels good right now. You can Shadow Word Pain the 2/4, but what else do you do? Like Excavate Evil just doesn't clear the Dark Underwolf, and you just pop open 2 more 1/1s. Could go for Shift and Shade and heal. Could go for Doomsayer heal if you feel that he doesn't have what he needs to clear the board. Shift and Shade directly challenges the Dark Underwolf. Wow, that came down so fast, I didn't even see it fully drawn. And there's the Cthulhu power-ups coming.
My shield for Argus.
So the Argus there, not hitting the Dark-Iron Dwarf, was to protect his Dark-Iron Dwarf from Shadow of Death. Very smart play from DerXello. He could have been really greedy and try and push extra damage, but he went to the safer option, and it paid off. Excavate Evil doesn't clear the board once again. Could Shadow of Death does take out the 5/6, and then you could Evil and leave the Dark-Iron Dwarf alive on 1 health. I think that's probably the best thing you've got here at the moment with the Priest. Could heal as well. There's 5, there's only 9 damage on board, so you're only gonna take 5 damage. But if you healed, you should go for the Doomsayer. I just goes for Imp Gambos. So a slower player, less urgent play from Ingik. But fortunately for him, DerXello doesn't have enough to push through lethal just yet. Oh, and the flash heal of hope.
Buying or selling.
Stone Tusk Spore! Power overwhelming, power overwhelming. No one would ever expect it. So now this board is very vulnerable to Excavate Evil. I would be happy with not overcommitting here, but DerXello is just pushing, and he is going to be punished for this. And a Doomsayer could be set up right after. And this is Ingik's opportunity to sustain and get back into the game. Ah, should have taken the Stone Tusk Spore. Look at all that burst damage. Wow. Oh wait, Chillmore did come back. What on earth happened in my game then? I played N'Zoth and Chillmore didn't come back. That is frustrating. So that's why I thought he didn't come back. That's why I mentioned it. I was thinking, oh, hang on a minute. He didn't come back for me, so that's probably what happens. Because the dragon didn't activate the Death Rattle. But he came back then, so I must have encountered the bug in my game. So yeah, 2-1. So the Priest does find a win. MXLs couldn't, but Ingik could. Such awkward names. So this Reno Jackson... No, it's not Reno Jackson. Cafoon mid-range Warlock thing that DerXello's created. Still needs to win 2 more games against probably more cookie-cutter variations of classes. I'm interested to see what else is in there. It was actually doing pretty well up until the N'Zoth, basically, and the Chillmore and the Abomination. Some of the early pickups from that museum creator definitely swung the game in Ingik's favor. But we still haven't seen like all the power plays from the Warlock side of things. We've seen the twins, which is kind of just come standard in any Cafoon variation. But we haven't seen what else. Is he packing like a Ragnaros? Are there any kind of demons in there, like Doom Guards, for example? Jaraxxus, potentially. So we'll have to see what else he has. Have a quick look over the bracket while we wait to see if any other scores have come through. So Racket and Martin Creek are still playing. Nope, nothing's changed.
I will fight with honor. Your soul shall
So the Paladin comes out again to take on the Warlock. See how this plays out. Ingam Boss, not a bad pickup for the start. Double Ingam Boss, not on a coin. Feels bad.
Get it out! Get it out!
a bit of a slow start for DerXello. Gets the 1-1. Finally, we've got a nice variety of free drops coming up, but we want to keep that momentum going against these Paladin decks. Ingik has the Pyro. He also has the Doomsayer. So he has a lot of answers to big boards if he finds the right pieces. And there's Cthulhu himself. So there's a Consecration, and Pyro Consecration worked out pretty well for Ingik against the Shaman. He just didn't win the game. And it'll probably work out pretty well against this deck as well. Could just go for Doomsayer. Yeah, I think so. Want to save that coin for now. So now the consideration is, do you need to invest anything else into this board? And nope, just going to go face. Keeps the 1-1, but just gives Ingik some breathing room. Oh, Doomsayer number 2. Why not? The problem is, like, off the back of a Doomsayer, you want to be able to play something else. So this turn, ideally for Ingik, you wanted to be able to play a minion. But that's not really the case. So saving that Doomsayer for a better turn. It was good there because it cleared, but he didn't have kind of the momentum to follow up. And if he'd went for the Doomsayer again there would be no follow-up. So that's pretty important, I feel. Darkshire Councilman, one of the zoo cards. Very powerful card, I think. Which I completely overlooked when looking at the set originally. But in combination with Forbidden Ritual and Imp Gambos hitting stuff. And here comes the second Doomsayer, so that is a big enough threat. But Bran double abusive... Well, Bran 1 abusive might do it. Yeah, Bran 1 abusive is enough to clear out that Doomsayer. I was going to keep hold of Bran. Go for the double abusive instead. And that's a nice board. So Peacekeeper can reduce the attack back to 1, but he'll start generating more attack later on. So it's not a permanent way to deal with that, Councilman.
Let me
It's looking pretty tough.
Like to play with fire?
Coin. Okay. So is this going into Solemns? Consecration deals with the 4-3, and you can use the weapon then. You lose the board. It's a massive investment from the Paladin. He does have a lot of healing in hand. They're keeping topped up, so he does have time. That's the one thing he does have. The Imp Gang Boss Brothers, which are probably going to get Bran August next turn if not dealt with. Making 2 4/6 Imp Gang Bosses, which would just be terrifying. That True Silver's going to clear up at least one piece. This is a very strange deck. I have to ask DerXello about it later. It's got kind of like mid-range elements, zoo elements, and it has all the Cthulhu synergy as well. So Beckoner will activate Twin Emperors, but that can be saved for next turn when you have 9 mana to do it. Kane is gonna come down this turn. Oh, Kane Beckner this turn, I guess. To deactivate the Twin Emperors.
Are you my master?
Doesn't want to use out Bran. Well, Bran Emperors is something to consider as well. Get an extra 4/6. So Ingik has a lot of cards to slow DerXello down. Minus the healing, he has Humility and Aldo Peacekeeper. So if he doesn't want to deal with this Kin right now and just want to leave him around, he could Humility or Aldo him. Justica is pretty good. Justica into Humility on Kin potentially, or just going to go for the 1/1s. Yeah, not feeling rushed.
Reporting for duty.
Do you wait for the Bran? Or are you just going to go for the... Oh, he goes for the double buff from the Beckner. Where's this Argus going to go?
Your minions think you are weak.
That allows the Imp to clear out the Justica. Oh, just pushing for damage, so looking for the Cafoon victory next turn. That is a lot to deal with without a lot of removal.
That was a mistake.
I don't think heal tanking will be enough. Even if you clear Kane, you still get the 4/5 to deal with after, so that still leaves 4 damage on board. You only take away 2 damage essentially. If you clear the Imp, that takes away 3 damage. You can Humility the Kane, and then you could heal with Forbidden Healing, try and put yourself out of range. Or if you want to keep the Justica on board, could even Aldor the 3/3 and clear that up.
I must move quickly.
But this is a very tough spot to be in.
Let me think.
I think Humility Kane and then heal. Aldo heal. Yeah, just gonna go for that heal that way. It's a shame he didn't heal the 3/3 as well, because then he could have cleared up. Oh, and Overwhelming as well. I don't think that's going to be needed. Because the Bran is going to be able to make this Cafoon a 24 damage dealer, and DerXello is going to take this game with the kind of interesting lineup, some stuff we didn't really expect. So there we go, DerXello will advance to round number 5. We have a shot of playing for the semi-finals in his next game. So yeah, some interesting decks from him. Shame on Ingik. I felt he played very well during his first series on stream. This series, I think he was going up against a lot. He had to play far more reactively, and he didn't have the kind of the smooth control rides Paladin gets sometimes. So I'm going to get the next game set up for you. I'm going to wait for Omeno666 to get an opponent, and then I'm going to bring him on the stream. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to look between 15 minutes, hopefully, and get that match going for you. So be back very soon with more GosuCup.